Alrighty, everybody, you guys are going to be blinded by my light mode on my computer again. Sorry in advance, but we're going to be talking about Copa America. We did a video actually on the Euro. I'm going to do a follow-up video next week as we get a lot closer. We know the injuries. We kind of know the official squad, stuff like that. It's coming right around the corner, boys. So we did a Euro preview video. Now we're going to do a Copa America preview. I'm very excited for this tournament. For me, this is more in my hemisphere of the world, the Copa America. So I'm definitely a little bit more excited. I know from some of the Europeans I've spoken to and the chats and everything, they're not as excited. They're all in on the Euro. I'm very excited for both tournaments. I think they'll both be very good. Copa America is a very similar situation here this year because I feel like we have a couple very interesting situations. Now, these are the actual future odds. If you don't know what future odds are, we went over it in the previous prediction video. Essentially, this is what odds you can bet for these teams to win. So Argentina is the most favored team to win. If you bet $100, you will get $175 on top of that, $275 total as your return. If Argentina lifts the trophy, Brazil, if you bet $100, you get $225 as a profit, so $325 total back, including your bet. So as you can see, after Argentina and Brazil, then you drop down to Uruguay, and that's quite a drop betting-wise, right? If you bet $100 on Uruguay, you think they're going to win a tournament, you win $600, you get $700 total back. But that's a huge difference in odds, right? Colombia's down at plus 900. The U.S. is tied with Mexico at plus 1,400. Then you move down to Ecuador and Chile, and then the rest of the teams. I mean, after that, it's just, whoa, do you really drop off? The tournament, the least favored teams in the tournament is Jamaica and Panama. So those are the least favored teams in the tournament this year. The top five, I mean, it makes sense. I think Mexico might be a little high over Ecuador. And I would never go really as low as plus 5,000, although I don't think Peru is going to win, and they haven't been playing that well. I still think that's pretty low. I don't know if Jesse Marsh is going to be managing Canada. I think he was just appointed to manage them, so I don't know if it's for this tournament or if it's after this tournament, but that is interesting if that's happening. Either way, as we are not surprised to see, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay are at the top. I think Uruguay are a little underrated. Uruguay have been playing the best in South America, but obviously, they've been beating Brazil. They've been competing with whoever. It hasn't been the real deal tournament. And Uruguay in Copa America, you know what I mean? So Argentina and Brazil usually run this tournament. If we look at the recent winners, it would check out why they are so closely favored. I'm not a huge fan overall of, I don't love Brazil without Neymar. I know a lot of you guys don't love Neymar. You think he's overrated. They play very well with him. So it'll be interesting to see how they play without him. Vinny right now is one of the most informed players in the world. So that's a question mark. We have to see how Messi's going to do with the national team. Look, they are the World Cup champs. They're also the defending champs of Copa America. So let's call it how it is. There is a lot of pressure on Argentina. They just won the World Cup. They won the recent Copa America. Di Maria had that excellent chip. And they beat Brazil 1-0. And Brazil, that tournament, in the recent Copa America, Brazil looked flawless. Everybody thought Brazil was going to take that one. So they were the runners-up. Brazil won in 2019 over Peru. Chile beat Argentina in 2015 and 2016. Both times, Uruguay beat Paraguay in 2011. So the last time Uruguay won Copa America was all the way in 2011, 13 years ago. Brazil won back-to-back before that. But as you can see, it's the usual culprits. Chile had quite a run for a while. They were just one of those really hardworking, gritty South American teams. They just, passion overload that team in 2015 and 2016. But yeah, usually it's Brazil and Argentina. Argentina won quite a bit of them in the past. You can see there in 93 and 91. But yeah, it's usually, so obviously for me, in terms of the team that currently is probably the most informed going into this tournament is probably Uruguay. But bro, the talent on Brazil, the talent on Argentina, don't sleep on, I would say, Colombia this year. I think Colombia just had a really good result. They just beat Spain 2-0 in a friendly. But it's like, how much importance do we put on those friendlies? Because obviously, when we get to the tournament, that is when it's time to go. So that's the real deal time. And yeah, those obviously were the recent winners. Argentina right now, I was going to go through this and kind of cycle through this. Argentina ranking-wise right now is the number one team in the world. Obviously, that makes sense. Brazil is down at 5. They've dropped a little. Colombia's up at 12. Uruguay down 4 in the rankings. I'm not really understanding that one because they had been really playing well up into this tournament. You got Ecuador down at 31. And then you got Peru at 32, Chile at 42, Venezuela at 54. That's what I'm saying. I think Peru on that odds sheet is interesting. They're all the way down there. And then obviously if we go to CONCACAF, U.S. is 11, Mexico is 14. Some players to watch in this tournament before we go through. I don't want you to know my location. That's creepy. Why are you trying to find my location? Excuse me. Can I continue here? We have a World Soccer Talk website here. They say Christian Pulisic is one of the players to watch. Messi, Santiago Jimenez. I think that's a decent shout for Mexico. Can he step up? And Raul Jimenez the other week just had a brace. I think a brace, maybe even 3 goals. So we'll have to see how Mexico does. Mexico's an interesting team right now. They're kind of in a transition period. They're also in a really tough group. Vinicius Jr., honestly, is probably one of the real ones to watch for me. Him and Darwin are going to be really interesting. I don't think Darwin was getting the playing time and kind of what he wanted at the end of the season. And Darwin with Uruguay has been playing really well from time to time. So it's going to be interesting to see with Darwin how he plays in this tournament. Obviously, Vinny is right now regarded as one of the most clutch players in the world. So we'll be very interested to see how Vinny performs at this tournament. Endrick, I believe he just got injured, though. I think Endrick just got injured. And then we just seen Lisandro Martinez the other week playing absolutely out of his mind. So right now, we look at the teams in Copa America. I don't know if they have added Copa America to this yet. They have. So FootMob has this all set up, which is smart of them. The first match is going to start on June 20th. Argentina kicks off against Canada. We'll go through the groups and everything like that. Argentina, this group, to me, is actually a sneaky tough group. I think it's a tough draw for Canada overall. It really is because, Chile and Peru are going to be tough games. It doesn't matter their ranking. They will always be there with the passion. Those two teams, always tough to match up against. And so this match alone will probably be pretty good. Peru-Chile, watch out for that one. That should be a good one. Argentina just beat Peru a little while ago, and then if we look at the recent form of Chile, Chile have been struggling, but they played 3-2 with France, so it's one of those ones where Chile has definitely seen better days as a team. Canada, on the other hand, drew with the U.S., beat Jamaica, lost to Jamaica. There's going to be a lot of really close results. I always feel like Copa America, the teams overall, are just, very close in level. I mean, you've obviously got the top 3 or top 4, top 5 teams this year, but I think it's going to be a tough one. This group, Brazil, Colombia, I feel bad for Costa Rica and Paraguay. I'm not giving either of these teams a chance. I don't think Paraguay or Costa Rica are coming out of this group. I could be wrong. Costa Rica lost to Argentina 3-1, and then Paraguay. But I just think with Brazil and Colombia, that group is already kind of decided. If we go down, let's go over to well, we'll chill here for a little bit. We'll go over to the outer screen. Ecuador, this Group B, I want you guys to watch Group B. I think Group B is a very interesting group this time around. Ecuador just lost to Italy 2-0. Have some wins, have some draws against Venezuela and Colombia. Previously, watch out for this group. This is a team that has been climbing in the rankings, and a team that we just seen recently do okay, get some results. Jamaica, on the other hand, just beat Panama. They lost to the U.S. by 2. They beat Canada. So again, all these teams very close in ranking. Mexico is a little overranked. Any fan of the Mexican national team will tell you they're not all that right now. They're in a very interesting period in their kind of rankings. There's times where they've been ranked lower, but I felt like they were a better team. This is a very interesting squad, this tournament, so watch out. This group is going to be a very close one. I probably couldn't tell you who's going to come out of this group. I don't even have a prediction. It's going to be a tough one. For the Group C, I fully expect the U.S. and Uruguay to come out of that group. I think Uruguay will top that group. That's obviously the favorite pick, but hopefully the U.S. get it done on the home soil, and they can do enough there. The U.S. is a decent team. I don't think the U.S. is going to be good enough to win this tournament, but hey, maybe they can get the home crowd behind them. They don't feel too much pressure. I mean, obviously, I don't think the U.S. is going to feel the same pressure, even though it's at home, as a team like Argentina and Brazil, right? The heaviness of that shirt, wearing that shirt, right? And especially Argentina for what they've accomplished recently. I actually think Brazil is probably playing without they're playing with the least amount of pressure they've actually had in the recent few tournaments. So I think a lot of pressure on Argentina, a lot of pressure on Messi. It'll be one of his last tournaments we get to see from him, and they've been nothing but successful as of the recent ones. So that is going to be, the question mark for this tournament as well. But it's a great tournament. I think probably outside of like Costa Rica and maybe like Bolivia and Panama, I think all these teams are really capable of giving close games. Even Jamaica has been playing better recently. And they've have some players in form as well. There's a lot of players in this tournament that are heading into the tournament really in form. So we've got some crazy matches. We start off with Argentina and Canada. Then we go to, and these are going to be late. Anyone who's watched this in Europe, these are going to be nighttime NA, so it's going to be late for you guys. But Argentina starts off with Canada. Peru then plays Chile. Mexico plays Jamaica. Ecuador plays Venezuela. That's going to be crazy. United States plays Bolivia. Uruguay plays Panama. Brazil plays Costa Rica. Colombia plays Paraguay. Chile plays Argentina. Peru plays Canada. Venezuela plays Mexico. Ecuador plays Jamaica. Panama, U.S., Uruguay, Bolivia, Paraguay, Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, and then Argentina, Peru. That's going to be a good one. Canada, Chile, Mexico, Ecuador, Jamaica, Venezuela, U.S., Uruguay. That one I can't wait for. That's actually this game for me, probably just as a spectator of the tournament, this game and this game on the final group stage day. And the only problem with this, right, is will we get to the point where these two teams kind of clinch already and they don't really have to go for this? Now, this one, maybe it's tough, right? I hope that we get to see these two teams going at it, and it's a meaningful game because the U.S.-Uruguay is a great matchup, and Brazil-Colombia is a great matchup. Those two are going to be amazing, amazing matchups. For the neutral. And then we get to the end part of it. So, look, man, if I wanted to give you a proper prediction, I really can't. I would say it's hard to bet against Argentina, so I do understand that. I have question marks about Brazil, but I feel like a lot of times with Brazil, their problem is they always have so much pressure on them. So I feel like they don't have the same amount of pressure. They're not favored at the top of this tournament. Usually they are always every single tournament. So, and they have, some players playing really well right now. So that's one of those ones that's interesting to me. We just saw Colombia get incredible result against Spain, which impressed me because I do always rate Spain as a football team. They are heading into this tournament with immaculate form. They beat Brazil 2-1. They beat Spain. They're beating these crazy teams. As of recent, if you look at their recent form, Colombia hasn't even lost in when's the last time they lost? The last time they lost was in 2022 to Argentina. 1-0. And then to Peru, 1-0 before that. They've beaten Mexico. They drew the U.S. The U.S. is a decent team at the moment. Very good. They beat Germany in a friendly. This was in 2023. They drew Uruguay, beat Brazil. And you know what? If Colombia, I'll tell you this. Colombia would be my absolute, if I wanted to get some value here, plus 900. They're the fourth favorite for this tournament. They're probably my sleeper pick. They seem to be just probably overall the most organized and just in form heading into this tournament as a team. They seem to be just playing fantastic together. So we will see if that translates to this tournament. But if I was going to give a sleeper pick, I think if Colombia, as long as they make it to the knockouts, they can play with anyone in the knockouts. This is a team that it doesn't matter the team they're playing, they're up for the task. Obviously, look how favored Spain were in this game. So this is going to be a team that you want to watch out for. They're in one of those groups that, look, they're going to be playing against Brazil, which is not easy, but they have to take care of business against Paraguay and Costa Rica. One of those teams that gets to the knockouts, watch out for them. This knockout stage of this tournament is going to be absolutely out of this world exciting. We've got 4 quarterfinals, 2 semis, and then a final. It's going to be amazing. Third place game as well. We don't really care as much about that, but third place game as well. So, man, very excited for this tournament. Overall, the team that I have probably seen the most in this tournament, the 2 teams that I've seen the most is Uruguay, Argentina, and maybe the U.S. And if I were to kind of give you a little bit of knowledge based on those teams that I have seen, Uruguay has probably been one of the most informed teams I've seen heading into the tournament. They lost to Ivory Coast in a friendly, which happened just really recently, which was one of their worst losses probably overall. But I think Ivory Coast just did some damage in AFCON, correct? So it's a good kind of test for them to see where they're at. Overall, though, Uruguay, I would really want to see how this team performs, right? Because I watched them play against Argentina. I watched them play against Brazil. Darwin played so well in this game. Darwin played really well in the Brazil game as well. And I thought that was kind of crazy, the fact that in the qualification, they beat Brazil and Argentina when they were going at it. Drew Colombia as well. So make of it what you will. I think overall, safest bet here is probably going to be Argentina, right? Are you going to bet against them? It's going to be tough, right? It's going to be tough to bet against them. But overall, I would love to see Uruguay or Colombia lift the trophy. And don't sleep on Brazil. Definitely don't sleep on the U.S. If I were to make like a dark horse pick, though, we'll see if Colombia can cook it up, right? Can they continue to form into this tournament? Let me know who you guys think is going to win. This is going to be our little Copa America preview. Nothing too in depth here, guys. Just kind of going through and talking through some of the stuff with you guys and looking at some of the games. So thanks for watching, boys. Appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.